All right, so get ready for a deep dive into a story that's both creepy and intriguing.
Yeah, definitely creepy.
We're looking at the story from TikTok from Hannah about her experience in her new house.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like a place with a past that is bleeding into the present a little bit.
Yeah, you could say that.
You've been captivated by her TikToks, and frankly, so have we.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
it's quite a story.
yeah, it is.
This seemingly ordinary house from the 1960s
Mm-hmm.
becomes the setting for some really unsettling events.
Right?
Hannah and her husband are initially excited about their new home, but then things start to get strange.
Yeah.
And it starts with a chair.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
kitchen chair that keeps moving every morning.
Every morning like clockwork.
Yeah, she finds it pulled away from the table facing the hallway.
Uh-huh.
And it's that kind of unexplained repetition
Yeah.
that really starts to get under your skin.
It does. And she and her husband even ruled each other out as the culprit.
Yeah, they did their due diligence.
Yeah.
Tried to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, like they really thought, okay, is this you? Is this me?
Right.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Then late one night, Hannah is walking down that same hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and she sees the chair in its usual spot, seemingly empty.
But there's a reflection in the window, right?
Yes.
That shows an old man sitting in the chair.
But what's interesting here is that Hannah doesn't describe this reflection as inherently evil or threatening, just odd.
Just odd, yeah.
Like, it's weird that it's there, but it's not like an evil presence.
Right.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, this is where the story takes a turn.
Okay.
From simply strange to something else entirely.
Okay.
It's taken me so long to tell this full story because it's genuinely one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. So when me and my husband bought our first house, things started to get weird very quickly, but it took about 2 years before it all came to a head. The first thing that I noticed is every morning when I woke up, even though I had tucked all the chairs into the kitchen table, one chair was always in the same chair. It was always taken out from the table and facing down the hallway, which was where all the bedrooms were. That happened for a while, and it took me a minute to pick up on the fact that it wasn't my husband doing it and my husband picking up on the fact that it wasn't me. Then I started to walk down the hallway like at night, and I would see the chair facing me, and nobody's sitting in it, but in the reflection of the like window right beside the table, there was always an old man sitting in the chair. I didn't think anything of it because he didn't seem to creep me out, like timelines passing, whatever. Then one night I'm having a dream, a sleep paralysis dream, so I'm like awake, but not really. And I see a shadow, a very tall, like 8 foot, very skinny shadow, standing and leaning over my husband like this. He's sleeping. The next morning when my husband wakes up, I told him, like, I saw the craziest thing standing over you. I don't mean to scare you, but I saw something. And he was like, stop, because I had a dream that I opened my eyes and there was nothing but like black staring at me. And then I told him what I saw. And like, I mean, you just like that kind of coincidence. A few months go by and then we're sitting in the living room, and this is a house that was built in the 60s. So we had this like big bay window in the living room, and we were on an acre, and basically all of that acre was our front yard. And we hear scratching on the front window, on the outside of the front window. And it wasn't anything like a raccoon, or it could have been anything like that. We were still in a neighborhood. And that just wasn't something we often saw. I mean, the front porch was literally like this big. I wouldn't even call it a porch. So me and him get kind of like uncomfortable and weird. We're like, let's go back to the bedroom. We go back to the bedroom and we lay down, and all of a sudden we hear such a loud bang. We thought that both of our bookshelves, we had like 8 foot tall bookshelves in our living room with we collect old books and like all the old National Geographics. We heard them fall, and both of our cats went running to the back of our house. They came running under our bed. And so we slammed the door. We start kind of like game planning, like, what do we do? What do we do? We're thinking somebody's in the house. They just like busted our door down and the bookshelves fell, like something's going on. We get some protection and we go out to like see what's happening. Nothing was out of place. Nothing had fallen. Nothing. And we know we weren't crazy because our cats reacted. Then I had a baby and I brought her home, and babies always stare and do weird stuff. But one of my first viral videos was her staring behind me like this. I had her on my knees and she was looking behind me, and she's laughing and playing with something behind me. And as I pan the camera, you see white movement like right here. The video's on TikTok, so we can find it. I would say about a month after that, I was rocking her in her room at night. I was fully awake. I was not dreaming. I was not sleepy. Like, I'm full mom mode. I'm up. Her bedroom looked all the way down the hallway where that chair is facing me, as it has for the last 2 years that we'd lived there. And as I look up into the hallway, I see facing the corner, like looking into my bedroom, because her room's here and my bedroom's like here. So standing, looking into my bedroom where I'm in her bedroom, is a full-on hooved, extremely tall, horned. I immediately start praying. I immediately out loud start praying. And of course, this is at 3 a.m. So the next morning, I tell my husband, I saw something crazy, I'm getting out of here. And he said that he looked over on the monitor at about 3 a.m. and he saw something moving around in the bedroom. Mind you, this is when I was rocking her and the monitor does not face the rocking chair. So I loaded up my baby. We went to a Catholic church and I got christened. I got a christened cross, a christened blessing. I filled up a whole water bottle and 2 little Tupperware things of holy water. I had an entire, the cross hanging on the entryway of our house. I walked around. I had one of my Catholic friends come over and bless our home. I walked around dousing holy water and praying over the entire house. I bathed my daughter in holy water. I bathed her in holy water. That's how much holy water I got. They probably thought that I was insane. And then every night before bed, I would bless her head and I would bless every single one of me and my husband and every doorway in our house. After that, we never had another incident. To this day, it's one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me, and I still carry that cross around. It's about this big, but it comes with us no matter where we live, and it's always over the entryway that leads to our bedrooms.
Did Hannah's faith have the power to banish something sinister? Or did her fear, in a way, give birth to it?
Wow.
Or was it a combination of factors we may never fully understand?
Right. It's the ultimate question.
Exactly.
And I love that we don't have the answer.
Yeah.
It's much more fun to speculate.
Sometimes the most compelling stories are those that leave us with more questions than answers.
Right.
They remind us of the vastness of what we don't know.
Yes.
And the limits of our understanding.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this topic so much fun to deep dive into with you every week.
Every week, yeah.
I love hearing these stories, and I love hearing your perspective on them.
Oh, thank you.
And thank all of you for joining us this week for another deep dive.
Yes, thank you, everyone.